You're 14 years old. It's a Saturday morning. You're standing right outside a mall Foot Locker, your heart literally beating out of your chest. You're casually pretending you aren't, just waiting for another customer to walk out so you can quietly ask them what size they bought. Listen, today we're going to trace a very specific descent into a hidden economy. It's an explainer of a life that might not actually be yours, but trust me, it's going to feel incredibly, uncomfortably real by the time we're done here.
14. The mall doesn't even open until 10 a.m. But you got there at 8:12. And why? Because some blurry rumor online said the shipment was low. Because some kid named Devin posted a grainy stock photo in a private Facebook sneaker group with just the caption, "Good luck, boys." So you stand there in that morning chill, shifting your weight back and forth on the concrete. And the craziest part, your mom thinks you're sitting at SAT tutoring right now.
See, your dad thinks paying $220 for a pair of shoes is totally financially irresponsible. He says this out loud every single time a new shoebox appears in the house. And you agree with him publicly. You nod your head, playing the good kid, while privately in your own mind, you are actively memorizing SQU numbers. That right there, that is a first tiny fracture. It's the absolute beginning of learning how to speak two completely different languages, depending on who's listening. The shoes releasing today are black and red, limited release, retro Jordans. It's the kind of drop that turns completely normal people into frantic economists for about 6 hours. You don't buy a pair to wear. No, you buy two. One to wear and one to hold.
Fast forward to 2:17 p.m. You sell that second pair right there in the mall food court for $430 cash. The buyer is some college kid wearing designer jeans and a hoodie that literally says, "Respect the culture." You just made $210 in pure profit in under 4 hours. Your hands are actually shaking when you count that money. And it's not even about the amount. It's because you suddenly understand something incredibly dangerous. You realize that people will pay almost anything just to feel early. And that realization, that changes your life far more than the cash ever could. You buy an orange Julius for your little sister on the walk home, telling yourself, hey, this is just temporary. But you know what? Everybody always tells themselves that in the beginning. From there, the acceleration is incredibly rapid. You go from a 14-year-old mall walker to a 16-year-old line specialist. The whole hustle just normalizes. You start knowing every single mall release schedule within a 70-mile radius. You know exactly which store managers allow camping out, which security guards actually care, and which locations just mysteriously seem to lose inventory right before release day. You learn exactly what cold pizza tastes like at 4:40 in the morning. You watch fully grown men literally scream at each other over a size 11 sneaker. You start learning that while relationships might be temporary, release calendars, those are permanent.
Somewhere along the way, you just stop caring about the shoes themselves. Well, not completely, but just enough. Enough to start stacking dead stock pairs in these clear plastic containers shoved under your bed. The hobby experiences this quiet, slow, emotional death. The shoes? They just become weather to you. A storm rolls in, and you just position yourself correctly underneath it to catch the rain. You profit. The internet totally changes the game too. Bots, early links, rumor accounts, and you start to notice something kind of dark. Nobody actually wants fairness in this game. They just want an advantage. By age 19, you've leveled up. You're a convention runner now, physically dragging these two giant rolling containers through some hotel ballroom that smells heavily of carpet cleaner, cheap body spray, and artificial leather. The whole ecosystem reveals itself to you pretty quickly in these rooms. You've got the loud, the rich, and the quiet. Everyone else at these conventions dresses like they're auditioning to be photographed. You know, designer crossbody bags, vintage tees that are somehow worth more than a utility bill. But you learn a really cold truth really fast. The quiet sellers, they last the longest, so you become one of them. You actively stop trying to look successful and you start trying to look totally forgettable. It's not a style choice anymore, it's a survival skill.
At one of these conventions, you meet this guy from Atlanta. He sells absolutely nothing but basic Air Force Ones. Just white, black, kid sizes, nothing rare at all, nothing flashy, and yet, this guy makes more money than half the convention floor combined. It's a brutal reality check about this hidden economy. Hype gets photographed, sure, but movement pays the rent. Later, that exact same night, in a hotel room literally stacked with cash counters and excess inventory, you watch a guy get caught red-handed selling near-perfect replicas. You expected the whole room to erupt in anger and morality. But instead, you found curiosity. You found people negotiating.
So you turn 22 and you basically become an outlet nomad. Your car permanently smells like cardboard and receipt paper. You're sleeping in parking lots, literally paying off assistant managers in cash just so they'll call you when specific shipments arrive off the truck. You build this super clean, completely faceless national website, and the money just becomes steady. And honestly, that's dangerous. Because now this entire crazy hustle feels completely normal. You're waking up to money sent from strangers in Seattle and Miami who seemingly trust glowing screens more than actual human beings. You stop thinking about the country geographically. The whole map shrinks. It stops being places and just becomes one giant signal system. And sneakers? Sneakers are the language.
Then it happens. The first replica pair arrives at your door in a plain brown box. No flashy logos, just the shoes. You sit there and stare at them for 11 straight minutes. The stitching is actually cleaner than the retail pairs. The leather feels softer, better. The box is literally heavier. Even the chemical smell of the glue is just slightly different. And then your overseas supplier sends you a text message. It says, "Updated batch, better shape this time." That specific phrase rewires something really deep in your head because it has this heavy, industrial sound to it. It doesn't sound criminal at all. It sounds exactly like manufacturing.
You decide to wear that pair yourself, out in public for the very first time. And guess what? Nobody notices. Not the self-proclaimed sneakerheads, not the other resellers, not even the guys at the convention who confidently claim they can authenticate anything from 10 feet away. Literally nobody. And that is the exact moment the entire illusion begins collapsing for you. You realize that authenticity is way less objective than everybody pretends it is. It's mostly just confidence. It's mostly storytelling. It's just social agreement. That first replica sale you make feels strange, but the 10th just feels administrative. And you're left quietly asking yourself this incredibly cynical question. If people actually can't tell, what is the difference? That sentence is going to haunt you for the next decade. By age 25, you enter what we'll call the volume era. Your apartment is completely swallowed alive by thermal printers, massive stacks of boxes, tape guns, and heavy metal inventory shelves. Your laptop stays open 19 hours a day. The constant glow of the screen literally burns your eyes. You start moving product internationally now. Canada, the UK, Australia, Dubai. And as you do, you notice something very strange, something almost mechanical about the whole operation. The further away these buyers are from the epicenter of the original culture, the more desperate they are for the symbol. They don't care about the craftsmanship, they don't care about the basketball history or the designer's intent.
What they care about is the signal, the status, the immediate recognition. You begin seeing this entire culture in a completely different light. It isn't fashion at all. It's a giant unspoken social password system. It's a language of belonging, literally a wearable ranking structure. And once that clicks for you, the replicas transition in your mind. They completely stop feeling like counterfeits, and they start feeling like alternate access points. That thought right there, that would have absolutely disgusted the 14-year-old version of you. But the current version barely even notices the shift.
Then comes the warehouse transition. You're 29 years old now. Cold concrete floors, constantly humming fluorescent lights, row after row of metal shelves. There's no music playing. There are no posters on the walls. There is absolutely zero sneaker culture energy in this building. Just inventory. You are quietly moving thousands of pairs every single month in total, deadpan silence. You have no face on social media. You don't do interviews, you don't go on podcasts. You learn out here in the quiet that the people who survive the absolute longest in this game are rarely the ones that anybody actually remembers. And your buyers? They become stranger, more elite. You're dealing with high-end boutiques, private VIP resellers, celebrity stylists, prominent wealthy collectors. And here is the truly staggering hypocrisy of it all. These are the exact same people who will go online and publicly condemn replicas to the end of the earth. Yet privately, in your DMs, they are practically begging you for premium batches just to gain a margin advantage. That hypocrisy completely stops surprising you, because you realize everyone demands authenticity publicly, but most people, they just want an advantage privately. And after that final psychological fracture, the shoes themselves fully stop mattering. Only the movement matters now.
You're 33 now. You're standing alone in your warehouse holding two nearly identical pairs of shoes. You've got the retail pair in one hand, the replica in the other, and you genuinely, honestly cannot tell which is which without checking super obscure, hidden details, and even then, you're only maybe 80% sure. Now that should really bother you, but instead, it just makes you laugh. It's this tired, almost dangerous kind of laugh, because suddenly this whole culture you've given your life to feels intensely, almost absurdly theatrical.
All the online arguments, the flexing, the artificial scarcity, the moral outrage, the insane resale prices, it all just starts feeling like this giant shared hallucination built entirely around symbols. You look back in your memory at that 14-year-old kid sitting in the food court with the orange Julius, counting cash with sweaty, shaking hands. Back then, you actually believed the sneakers themselves held the power. But now you understand the devastating truth. The power was always social, always. The shoes were never the actual product. They were just dog whistles. They were permission slips, just empty containers. And man, once you see that clearly, you can never, ever fully unsee it.
At 37, you enter the quiet legend era. People in very specific inner circles know exactly what your inventory looks like without ever actually knowing your face. You move a lot slower these days. Less volume, much higher margins. You own property now. Cars, storage units, real, tangible assets. But inside, you feel entirely, totally disconnected from the very objects that literally built your entire life. Sneakers were just the first doorway you ever found. And the truth is, you walked through it a very, very long time ago.
Every now and then, you still visit the conventions, totally anonymously. You just walk the crowded aisles, watching 16-year-old kids furiously argue over legitimacy near tables stacked with absolutely perfect replicas. You watch grown adults fight each other over artificial exclusivity. Everyone in the room is just performing expertise for everyone else. And you feel like a ghost wandering through a shared hallucination. It feels exactly like sitting in the back pew of a church for a religion you completely stopped believing in years ago. You literally watch a seller proudly explain his authentication methods just 3 feet away from a table of fakes that are better constructed than the retail pairs, and neither of them realizes the profound irony. You almost smile at it. Almost.
You're older now. Not old, necessarily, but just tired in some really permanent ways. We've finally reached the archive phase. Half the lights in your warehouse just stay off now. You move through these endless rows of boxes so slowly, there's a thick layer of dust on the bottom shelves. Forgotten inventory from 5 years ago. Dead stock pairs that literally nobody cares about anymore. You walk to the back, open up an old, cracked storage bin, and pull out a crushed shoebox. Inside is a faded eBay receipt and some old, early generation replica pairs. You just sit down on the cold concrete floor, holding the shoes in your hands.
And sitting right there, in that dim half-light, this incredibly strange realization finally arrives. It isn't some dramatic, cinematic epiphany, it's just a very quiet, heavy truth. You stare out across thousands and thousands of pairs, retail and replica all just bleeding together under the buzz of a fluorescent light. And you finally confess to yourself that you genuinely cannot remember which pairs in your own warehouse are authentic anymore. And it's not because you forgot the technical flaws, it's because somewhere over the last 20 years, authenticity itself just stopped feeling real to you. It simply no longer matters.
For the very first time in decades, you understand the whole thing with absolute chilling clarity. The sneakers, they never meant anything in the first place. Not really. The people did. Or more specifically, the actual product you were selling for 2 solid decades was simply what people wanted other people to believe about them. That was always the real product. The shoes were just the packaging. You laugh quietly into the empty room, and it's not because it's funny. It's because it literally took half your life to figure that out. And then, slowly breaking the heavy, dead silence of the warehouse, right outside the metal door, a delivery truck backs into the loading dock. Beep, beep, beep. Another shipment arriving. A new drop. A new storm rolling in. The cycle just continues. And the truth is, it always will.